Hey everybody, it's JT. So I I'm gonna be talking about the Overdose Dripper by Team Overdose. Okay, the OD Dripper, Overdose RDA, whatever you want to call it. I was recently down at Seaside Vapors seeing my good friend Doug. He was vaping on one. I checked it out. I kind of fell in love with it. It was one of those impulse buys. Um, and I picked one up. Thank you to Doug. Had a really good time hanging out there. So the Overdose Dripper, I got home and I posted in my We Are Vape Stars Facebook group for some advice. You know, I got a link to a video. I just want to give a big shout out to Jim. Your last name, Gangloff. Um, my buddy Aaron, when I got the Overdose Dripper and posted that I received it, this is the video. He sent me a link, said, hey man, this build video is the one that they really suggest you to use. So I went and watched it, and it was beautiful. It helped me really, first attempt, really built some great air through coils, whatever you want to call them. And actually, Mr. Jim, we have interacted a couple times through Facebook, and that was really cool to be able to see somebody that likes and comments on some of my posts that actually, oh, that's the same Jim. So thank you, Jim, for putting up that good build tutorial video on the Overdose Dripper build. And of course, along with this video, I will link to that video. I'm not going to attempt it. I'm not really good at doing the build videos. I'm far more comfortable just talking to a camera. When I'm building, it's tough for me to stay in focus. So I'm going to let Jim do that part and handle that part. I hope it's okay. I will ask him, but I will definitely share the link to his build tutorial. And that's the one I really suggest right off the bat if you pick up the Overdose. So I was told by 2 or 3 people to build it the way they recommend it. Trust me on this, JT. You want to try the build that they suggest for it. Okay, I like to do that. Do what the manufacturer intended it to be used as, and then I can experiment later. So I'm going to try to explain, and obviously there will be some close-up pictures scattered out in this video. First of all, very wide bore drip tip. I tend to stay away from those. My personal vaping style, not really my thing. But also, it's titanium. That was pretty cool. You know, I don't own anything that's titanium, so that was pretty rad to me. Now you've got 2 side airflow holes, right? A lot of people or a lot of drippers would have those on either side of each other, but they're pretty close. Okay, so already it's looking a little different, but it looks beautiful. And titanium, it's so light. Oh, it's really a beautiful dripper and very light. Dude, again, I will post some pictures, but literally, as much as you can see, that's how deep the well is and or could be on this atomizer. Pretty amazingly deep. Almost reminds you of a Genesis atomizer. That's almost a tank down there. So, and you've got these 2 negative posts, okay? They're sort of over here where the airflow holes are, and you've got 1 center post. And this is a very different, I've never seen another atomizer like this. I'm sure there's a couple. I know there is, but I've never owned one like this. But basically, what you do is you build some coils. They give you 2 rods. Okay, I'm not sure on the diameter of those rods, but they give you 2 rods that fit perfectly in the air holes. You build some coils and you run these rods in with the top cap off. You run those in, put the coil around that post, and secure it. So basically, I've got a picture I'll put up. But about mid-build, you've got two rods sticking out of here. Your coil's around it, and you're securing either end of your wire. Basically, what we're doing is we're building coils that line up exactly with those air holes. And when you're drawing on the atomizer, that air is coming in, going through the center of those coils, and then up through the drip tip. Pretty cool. The way you have to wick this is you wick it around. I think I've heard people calling it a dragon or a serpent or a double eagle. I don't know what it's called. It's the Overdose build for all I know. I've never messed with much like that before. But you have these two coils, you cut a piece of cotton, stick it down in the middle, and then wrap it around the outside. So kind of like an M, maybe. And you get this really unique build, really unique system of airflow on the Overdose Dripper. So I completed that build. First couple of times I hit it, I was pleasantly surprised that despite the wide bore drip tip, the airflow was really, really nice to me. Wasn't too open, wasn't too restricted. The flavor was very good. As you can imagine, the air is coming in and coming directly through your coils. The flavor, very, very good. Obviously, juice capacity, very, very high. Can hold a lot of juice. This is one of those, especially with that build style, you can just dump juice in there. In fact, that's what Doug says. He's like, man, I don't even look. I just give it a big old squeeze and squeeze juice in there and go back to vaping. What I noticed with that is, again, great flavor, good airflow, not too wide, not too restricted. Sometimes with a lot of juice in there, you would get a little bit of a gurgly vape. And that's really just because the only place your airflow has to go is through your coils. So if they're extra saturated, sometimes there's some gurgle. Never got juice in my mouth one time though. That's a big plus for me. So if you've got to classify something as an all-around addy, a cloud-blowing addy, or a flavor addy, I don't know. I got to put this in the flavor category. You get a really, really super intense flavor delivery with this atomizer with that build, that recommended through coil airflow build, whatever you want to call it. It's a really cool experience. It's really fun to build that style. I get, it's nice to get something that throws you a curveball every once in a while and demands for a unique or different build. Now, recently, I have switched over to vertical coils. I wanted to try that. First and foremost, I wanted to try the build that they recommended, and then I want to play a little bit, okay? So now I've got vertical coils, and basically I built the coils, installed them right in front of these air holes, of course, and I'm able to have quite a long tail of cotton down in there, both from the bottom of the coil, and I also took wick out of the top of the coil and folded it down behind, and it's wicking from the top and the bottom. Just another experimental build with the Overdose Dripper. It's doing well so far. The airflow is a little bit different since it's not going through the coils, it's going around it like like other drippers out there. The flavor is definitely way better with that recommended build, but it's good. It's good just with the verticals. It's a really nice little dripper. Now, the thing is 130 bucks. So that's not cheap. This is one that I feel is it's not going to appeal to everyone out there. It's a very specific build. Really, what I think it is it's something fun for the flavor chasers out there. Okay? some of the flavor chasing addies, it's you get some standard stuff and standard builds. It's nice to have something that looks like it's not going to produce the best flavor, but have a really unique build option and put out some really good stuff. I think the flavor guys will look at this and think, nah, I don't do stuff with the wide bore. But I really think this could be right up their alley. A good way to get a different atomizer they normally wouldn't pick up just at a glance. So I really have to recommend, unless this atomizer just sounds 100% like it's up your alley, I've got to recommend that you go try this. At least go hold it, look at it, see if a shop will let you test the airflow. Try to get an idea of what it's all about before you just buy it. Unless you have 130 bucks to blow and it's not that big a deal to you to try something out. But if $130 is a lot of money to you, it's a lot to me, then I really suggest holding out until you can really try one, or just really be sure that it sounds like something you want to get. But I've enjoyed it. I like it. I like different stuff. I like stuff that comes to the market and, you know, shakes things up a little bit. I feel like this is one of those. So that's the Overdose Dripper. Definitely a little different. Might give you a little challenge when you get it to build on it. But if you're like me, that's fun sometimes. So, Overdose Dripper by Team Overdose. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.